So, what is the most powerful productivity tool that you might be missing? Hey everyone, it's John, and here hanging out with y'all again. And I want to check in with you. Last time we connected here, we talked about the big why. And, I go a little bit extreme on things just to kind of get people's attention. And, I think that, I really know that in the principles of life, there's duality in everything. There's good and bad in all things. And ultimately it just is. I think that with everything in life is, there's two parts to it. There's what happens, and then there's how we interpret it. But with that said, what I want to do is continue on. I want to remind you where I left off last time was taking a look at moving away from this why, which puts us into overwhelm, which is a word of judgment, and into what is one thing that isn't happening in your personal life, that a big choice, some change, or greater productivity would provide for you. Just one thing. That's it. Keep it simple. Just to reiterate, in working with very, very productive people, it's not putting more on top of it. It's peeling back the layers and getting to the truth of where you're at. So again, what's one thing, if you haven't done that exercise yet, what's one thing you haven't experienced in your personal life that would give you the happiness and freedom that you desire, okay? That one choice, that change, that greater productivity will give you. So now let's take the next step. The next step is we've got to keep unpacking things. And I want to talk to you about the most powerful tool on the planet. And it's a little tool, I'll have many people comment, you've got so many things going on, you've got a big capacity. I really, really don't. I'm a very, very simple person, and I have simple references and guideposts that I reference back, and then I allow who I am to show up naturally. And that's what I really want to encourage people to do. Certainly I coach and train people and give them input. But what I always want to suggest is stay in the principle. If you'll stay in the principle because they're constant, you will show up as your natural self. And then you don't have to sell. You don't have to step outside of yourself. The other thing that you're going to do is you're going to find your voice. That's the other piece that I want you to really capture. Find your voice. What is your voice? And then stay true to it. We're vague and we're gray, and we move from place to place. We move from principle. Most people are evolving in personality, and the reason we evolve to personality is because in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he talks about food, water, air, but the next thing is love, belonging, and recognition, and we do so much of it outward. Well, we've got to do it inward. What is going to make you feel good? So the next part to this is, what is the tool that you need to use? What's an action step? And so there's an action step, there's a principle, and there's a tool that I want to suggest you to use. And again, I'm a really, really simple guy. I have to be, because I get into overwhelm. And the tool that I want you to use, and it's the most powerful tool on the planet, and it's called the mirror. It's called the mirror. That's it. We're spending so much time looking outside of ourselves. When I think about someone that I need to compete with, or I'm watching what someone else is doing, and we're striving to be better than, the energy that it takes to put out towards someone else is 10 times the energy suck from me and from you that you could evolve into creating who you want to show up as. So how do we do that? Well, we have no control over the things outside of us. Yet if you look at your day, do a retro, look back at yesterday, look back over the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and how much energy were you putting towards things outside of you? How much distraction took place in your life, took you off your purpose, took you off your, what's that one thing? What takes you away from that because of the concern of what someone else is doing, or the need to win? Winning for me is being just a little bit better than I was yesterday. And then tomorrow, if I can be just a little bit better, because I can control that. And see, what's happening is, the tool that I would go down, and guys, you need to go buy one of those little, cover-up makeup things, because you got to flip them open, and there's a mirror in there, and just break off the makeup. I mean, if you want to put some cover-up on and whatever, you can. but ladies, I'm sure you got one of those in your purse. And here's what I want to challenge you to do. Any time that you're challenged, any time that you're frustrated, any time that something shows up that distracts you, that takes you off your path, creates discouragement, take the mirror out of your purse. Guys, take the mirror, be that goofy character running around with a mirror and look at it. That's the answer. So I've got this what is that one thing I want to have happen in my personal life that I haven't experienced yet, that change, that productivity. It's not outside of you. It's like I tell people in business, the growth of your business is not it's not outside your business. It's inside your business. It's optimizing what's already there. We have the tools. As I state all the time, we're in the information overload age. We have more resource on the planet than we've ever had, okay? And the real shift is going to take place is when we get into personal responsibility. That's the magic pill. Well, but this happened to me or that happened to me. No, what I want you to do is I want you to break your experiences down going forward into two parts. What happened and how I choose to interpret it. What happened and how I choose to interpret it. Feelings are a choice. And I've sat in rooms in my work, in my growth, with some people that have had some just horrible things happen in their life. And the only way happened to them, and the only way that they could break through was when they were able to interpret it in a different way. I'm not saying that, oh, it was wonderful that this horrible thing happened. I'm saying that, okay, this happened. What is it showing me about myself? What is it teaching me? What is it going to allow me to break through? What doorway is it going to open for me? And it's not a Pollyanna thing. I think one of the things that's very important to do is to visit our dark and our light. I'm up here at my country club, so we get to have the lawnmower go by. Just got done with my workout. All right. I think I'm going to play some golf today. Maybe not. I got to get on some coaching calls here. But that's the piece I want you to get. So what's the one thing you haven't experienced? What choice or change do I need to make? What's one thing? Okay, now let's take the next step. All right, now I got to own everything. I've got to take personal responsibility. I've got to unpack this baggage. I've got to get these things out of the way. I've got to stop blaming my leader. I've got to stop blaming my significant other. I've got to stop blaming my kids. I've got to stop blaming my past. I've got to, good grief. If I sat here and looked at everything that didn't happen and went, oh, it's because, I was an alcoholic for so many years and I embarrassed myself for so many times and my reputation, all that stuff. Well, something? I understand if there's some people that can't look past that in me. I understand that. I understand that has nothing to do with me. I understand that I can take actions every single day to find who I really am. And I'm still that alcoholic. I'm still that person that can make the bad choices. I'm one decision away from a train wreck. I'm one bad choice away from a train wreck. So I keep things really, really simple. What's one thing? Okay. Personal responsibility, owning every single experience. And some of the simple things that show up to me is, if someone shows up I have an encounter with someone that doesn't feel good, what are they teaching me about myself? What are they showing me about myself? What is it in me that is, I'm a powerful human being. I bring everything forward to me for a purpose, and that's just the truth. And, some of you may say it's kumbaya. Well, that's okay. You don't have to run with it. Run with whatever works for you. But I know it to be true. I know it to be true with the people that I work with that really understand this. They understand that I'm going to keep it simple. They understand that I'm going to take personal responsibility for all my experiences, all my outcomes. My daughter's situation, which is, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Numerous heart surgeries, the shooting in Las Vegas, those things put a thumbprint, an invisible thumbprint on her. And it's a journey for her. And so I look at, and I'm not walking in her shoes, but I'm a father that loves my daughter dearly. And the first thing I do is I could get sad and I could get scared. And I say, what's it showing me about me? And you know what it shows me about me? It shows me that I need to stay humble. It shows me I need to be grateful for what is good with her. But here's what it really reminds me. She's in my life to take me to my heart, which has been a challenge for me. It's a challenge for many men because we're supposed to be, win, lose, and all that masculine energy. And that's been a struggle for me. It really, really has. And so in looking at that situation, I own that situation. That's in my life for a reason. It's in my life and dig deep. It took me a while to really get that. I went through a lot of personal work in looking at that situation. She's here to take me to my heart. And when things show up, it's kind of ironic in her life. I know that maybe I'm moving away from that. That's just how I choose to operate. That's how I choose to interpret things. So what's one thing you haven't experienced in your personal life that a choice, a change, greater production will give to you over the next year? Now the next piece, okay, is we're looking at, okay, no matter what's happening, no matter where I'm at, personal responsibility. I've got to own it, because if I don't own it, I'm going to walk around being the yeah but person. And I've yet to see the yeah butters do a lot of really productive, epic things in their life. So I hope that's helpful to you. I hope that you're really excited about the opportunities that are ahead of you. People are looking at January 1st. This moment right now is January 1st. And the next moment is January 1st. Because when we look too far into the future, we lose our power. When we look too far into the past, certainly those are things that we need to be aware of, but our true power is in right now. Our true power is being clear on one thing, holding the mirror up. See, when we're not performing at the level we need to, we're not feeling good about things, we've got the mirror at waist level. Hold the mirror up, look in the mirror, own it, take personal responsibility, and things are going to change for you. They really are. Much love. Hope you guys have an epic day. Speaking of productivity, I got to get on a coaching call. See you guys later. Till next time. Maybe talk to you in a couple days.